What's good, everyone? These Soloists, Mr. Stay Ready, Never Have to Get Ready. Today's topic is about Monster Hunter World, specifically the time zones in the game, and for us to get a better understanding about that. Now, for anyone that has played Monster Hunter prior to Monster Hunter World, or any copy at this point, there is something called time zones, and the time zones are the parts on the map that are separated into different regions, kind of like countries. Not so much, but just different areas actually in the same loading zone. So if you were to go on a quest, you would end up loading in one of these zones, one out of, let's say 10. Some of them have less, some of them might have a little bit more, but essentially there's different zones like this in the game, and it served many different purposes in the game as the games went on. For instance, if you're fighting a large monster and you need to heal, you need to create rations, cook your food, anything like that, players would use the time zones to help them in this process. For instance, if you're fighting in one area, let's say area 1, and a monster is about to kill you or you're low on rations, you can actually fast travel to area 2. Even though the monster might be chasing you into the area 2, you have about 2 to 5 seconds there to heal or do whatever it is that you want to do before the monster ends up respawning or entering the zone 2. So this is one of the ways that it was effectively used in the original Monster Hunters or any Monster Hunter prior to Monster Hunter World. And so this way of going about it has changed. It will no longer be this way moving forward. So that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about, telling you what the changes have been and sort of how it will affect the gameplay. So right here I have the wiki, Monster Hunter World wiki, and it does a great job of explaining exactly that. So I'm just going to go ahead and read that. If you want more information, definitely just go to Wikipedia, or just Google Wikipedia Monster Hunter World, and you'll be able to see all the information and more that I'm speaking about to you guys in this video. So the numbered zones, I'll just go ahead and read it now. Monster Hunter World has several different areas to hunt, divided into a set of numbered zones. However, unlike previous games, where there would be a loading screen and traveling between each zone, making each zone isolated from others, Monster Hunter World, offers seamless travel between zones in the area. This alters the nature of some gameplay elements. For example, with zones, a player could temporarily escape a monster by leaving a zone, entering the next, giving them time to drink healing potions or prepare other equipment. With the connected world approach, the player does not have this immediate escape option, so some gameplay elements are tied to the fact that the player cannot easily escape danger. One such change is allowing the character to drink a healing potion while walking rather than having to stand still and remain vulnerable, which is a huge difference, by the way. I really do like that change. The game will include a dynamic day-night cycle which can affect the behavior of some monsters mid-quest, part of the environment, and destructibles by hunters and monsters alike, such as breaking down walls to create new routes or causing a flood of water that washes creatures to a different area. The areas have what Capcom considers to be living ecosystems, which monsters reacting to the presence of the other monsters. This can be used to lure monsters to fight and weaken each other. For example, when outside of combat, players will have a way to quick travel to the region's base camps, safe areas from the monsters, where they can change out equipment and restock on items before setting out again. New in Monster Hunter World is the ability to change weapon class while out in the field. That is crazy. That is so crazy, because I remember I've always wanted to play between 2 classes, and a lot of the times I'd switch in and out. That is a cool feature. That is a really, really cool feature. Lastly, Astra acts as a central hub where players can buy and sell goods, craft new equipment, and gain new quests. So that's essentially what the differences are for these zoning systems. So my takeaway from that is not much different from what I mentioned earlier. It's just the idea that a lot of the gameplay elements will be affected by this, but I think it will, the changes in the long run will be better. And I think anyone that would find this to be a hard thing to adjust to, I think it really works well for the overall community. Personally, I remember joining Monster Hunter. I didn't join it I joined on Monster Hunter Try. I didn't join it at the very beginning of the game or the beginning of the life cycle, kind of in the midway point. So there's a lot of veteran players that were playing the game already. And I remember coming in, and because of the zoning systems, I wouldn't be able to know, for instance, where the Rathalos or the Rathian would fly off to, but a lot of the veteran players would know exactly the location it could be. If it was either in Zone 6, or if it flew off in this direction, it might be in Zone 8. And so I would follow these players, and they would teach me, you know, the tricks of the trade and how it actually works. So I thought that was pretty cool. They took on a more mentorship, veteran role over the newcomers of the game, which I think in this approach will just further that notion, further that aspect of the community, where newer players will not only need to know sort of the patterns of the creatures, but also how to use the environment to the best of their ability for the hunt. Hunting certain monsters, you know, bringing it to a certain area using sense or whatever, what have you, and then having it fall through a dam or a pit trap or something like this as it rolls down the river. Like, there's a lot of really good implications for this, and I can't wait to see, you know, how the players of Monster Hunter World and the community of Monster Hunter ends up using this and how we're going to react to it. So for me right now, I'm going to say this is very much a good thing. I like the idea. I like how it all ties together. And I think that's where the world comes from, is actually getting rid of the zones, but that's just the theory. Anyways, that is the numbered zones. That is all the information you need to know about the zones in Monster Hunter World. If you guys like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, all that good stuff. I am the Soloist, and I'll see you guys in a later video. Peace.